You like the big crabs?
Of course I love crabs. Crabs are cool as hell. Big crabs are even cooler. And we're gonna be going nuts with big crabs. That's what I'm here for.
Incoming transmission from an unknown source. It seems to be urgent. Patching them through. They're calling themselves the HoloNet Marauders.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the HoloNet Marauders podcast. My name is AJ and I'm joined here by my Bombad cloners, Jamie and Matt. How's it going?
It's going really well.
Yeah, he's making me choke here, but yeah, that's good.
Oh man. Well, I had to think of a good intro there for the Bad Batch, because we're talking about Bad Batch season
wasn't
2.
even from the Bad Batch.
So after a long time in between season 1 to season 2, we are back to talk about the Bad Batch. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heroes. I have the names written down of all the characters from the show, so I didn't forget. Obviously, I wasn't going to forget the Bad Batch's names, but I almost counted Crosshair, but he's an asshole, and I hope he doesn't. We'll get to that.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
I'm teasing my thought on Crosshair for the end of the show, so stay around. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Obvious thought. We all have it. I have it.
Maybe.
Probably. I don't know.
But obviously, Jamie is the number one Bad Batch fan here and probably anywhere. But I absolutely love Bad Batch. I love Clone Wars. I mean, who doesn't really? And this is pretty much a continuation of Clone Wars into the Imperial era. But I forgot like how much I really am looking forward to Bad Batch season 2. Obviously, we were at the trailer, in the flesh, in the arena, in the flesh. We saw in the flesh D. Bradley Baker with
from afar, and Michelle Ang.
And Michelle Ang doing the voices
in the flesh from afar.
In the
in the flesh from afar.
Oh yeah,
sounds like this is like a ritual.
You guys got into that. I didn't get into that. I was in the overflow room.
Yeah, that was like the one big thing. Like as we were going to Celebration, I was like, the only thing I want to do is to go to that Bad Batch season 2 panel, and luck worked out, and we got to go. Which
we sat with all new nerds and had a good time.
Did. A lot of fun.
So season 2 is finally here. Can't believe it. We're going to talk about a little bit of season 1. We'll look back at season 1. What we know about season 2 going into it. Basically, just from watching the trailers, there's a lot in those trailers, a lot of juicy tidbits, and then what we think will happen in season 2, and maybe we'll have a couple bold takes. I have one, but we'll get to that.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a bold one that will pertain to us, if that makes sense, like what our interests are in HoloNet Marauders and that.
Interesting.
So.
Okay.
So before we get started, I have a question, as I always do, ready in my bag of tricks.
Oh boy.
In my notes.
Okay.
These guys are making fun of me for having notes.
Bag of mix.
I need a bag of mix.
Bag of Mantel mix.
So he's a mixed bag.
Mantel mix.
Oh, Mantel mix.
Okay.
God. You guys are not on the same page.
I thought you were calling AJ a mixed bag. I was like, wow, that's mean.
Well, he is a mixed bag, but I mean, when it comes to like Bad Batch, like you want me to sling some reference in there, I'm gonna sling it, and you guys aren't gonna get it because
like slinging. I don't know anything.
Nope, like slinging Gregor's power sliders.
Like slinging Ruby around.
What?
Does anyone remember Ruby? No one ever remembered Ruby.
I remember
besides
Ruby.
You. Ruby, the little lizard.
Pangolin thing.
The lizard.
Whatever the hell it was.
I don't think the species ever actually got a name, but it was Roland Duran's like pet, and like they captured it in like one episode in the very beginning, and Omega was like, "Oh, there she goes," and like she like caught her. And then they gave her back to Sid, and then a few episodes later, Roland Duran shows up with that, and that's when we learn her name is Ruby. And
that was the worst episode.
It wasn't that good, but
First prediction: Roland Duran's going to show up in season 2, so that those episodes weren't a waste of time.
I just wrote him down in my notes.
Oh
so
no!
Just remembered him.
Put it back in the bag.
It's back in the bag. So my question doesn't have to do with Bad Batch, or maybe it does if you have the answer. But what was your favorite Star Wars holiday gift from this holiday?
Does it have to be Star Wars?
No.
My favorite holiday gift was this sweet roll.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is a good one.
AJ got me this. For those who aren't in the know.
It's squishy too.
Yeah, it's squishy and it kind of smells like vanilla. AJ got this for me. For those who aren't in the know, sweet rolls are pretty much cinnamon buns in the Elder Scrolls universe, and I am obsessed with it. And I had it just sitting next to me because I wanted to work it into my display just to like toss it in there, but it didn't work out. So
You gotta
One
hide
day.
the sweet roll in the
That makes
background
sense.
now of every single thing you do, and it's gotta be a different place
Someone
every
stole
single
your
time.
sweet roll.
I think I see it.
It's risky
like
business.
it's like putting like the bucket on top of someone's head after you like kill them in Skyrim.
There you
You
go.
know?
Yeah.
Right. The calling card. All right, Matt,
Yeah.
what was your favorite holiday gift?
Okay, so the main gift that I got this year was a birdhouse
Oh,
Right.
with
Jamie, okay. Matt told me before the show, and I was wondering what Matt is up to today because I was trying to text you about something, and I know you said you weren't up to much, but Jamie was like, "Oh, he's probably doing something with birds or something." No joke,
actually,
he was.
I spent all day setting up the birdhouse.
I did say that to AJ. I was
Mhm.
like, Matt's probably home spending like his time being a part-time ornithologist, just like doing his business. Because I remember like you talking about birds before, so I'm like,
Yeah. I got a birdhouse. It's got a little Ring doorbell camera installed in the roof. So that's all
"Really
set
look
up,
at the birds?"
and it's like linked to my phone. So we're gonna hang it up at the end of the week. And this
So
is
like
like,
on the ceiling of the birdhouse, so you can see the birds in there.
yeah, so we'll be able to see the birds in the birdhouse.
A violation of privacy for the birds.
Can you
Birds
talk
don't
to
care
them while
about
they're in
humans
there?
watching them, just like we don't care about our overlords watching us. What'd you say?
Can you talk to them while they're in there?
I mean, theoretically I could, but that would probably just scare them.
That's fair. Or they'd be like, "What if they talked back?"
Well, I mean, birds can talk, so
Of course, yeah.
maybe it'll be a crow. Crows can talk, and then I can whisper things in its ear, and then it'll come out and start talking to people. That'd be great. Now I'm hoping
we're
a
getting-
crow.
We're getting deep into the 1984 business of like screaming at like the birds like while we
Screaming
watch
at
them.
crows.
So my favorite holiday gift was I don't know. There's a lot of good ones to choose from. Jamie got me some Star Wars themed soaps. They were mostly
Ooh.
Kylo Ren themed.
Ooh.
Uh,
What does
And
he
one
smell
Steve
like?
Harrington.
Okay.
There was a Cobb Vanth candle that smelled like wood and something. It smelled very Cobb Vanthy.
Okay.
But
okay.
she got me this Lego.
Ooh.
So this is like the little speeder bike with Cassian and Luthen on it.
Yeah.
And
I
it
didn't
came
know
with
they
a little
made Andor Lego sets.
They made
just the
one.
one.
All right.
And it comes with Cyril.
Oh, wow.
And he has his own little like ship that they flew into Ferrix. I wish
But
it
he
came with the
doesn't
Scottish
have-
guy too, but
Doesn't have a
No.
bowl of cereal.
no, I could fix that. I can get him a bowl.
I
You
love
get him a
the
bowl.
I love the box art for that Lego because it's like a standoff of Cyril and Luthen, which never happens
Totally
at all.
happens.
That was my favorite part.
They couldn't
Hopefully
put
it's
the
in.
part where Cassian has like a gun to the back of his head. They couldn't put that part on the box. Maybe they could.
Yeah, they could have. It's just a Lego.
There they
Share my
are.
dream share my dreams with ghosts. So yeah, a lot of good gifts. Fun holiday. Good
Yeah.
holiday.
Fun holiday.
Yep.
Now we're gonna talk about the Bad Batch.
All
Finally.
right, now we're gonna talk about the Bad Batch.
So we'll take a look back at season 1. Jamie, give us the recap. No, no,
Quick
just
recap. Okay, so
Oh, you can do the quick recap.
I can do it. I can do it. You want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we meet the Bad Batch at the end of season 7 of the Clone Wars. They rescue Echo with the help of the 501st, and then Echo decides to join the Bad Batch. And so the Bad Batch exists of Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair, and Tech. They are genetically modified clones with desirable mutations, right? So they are just really good at what they do. The Clone Wars begin, or the Clone Wars end, and it's Order 66, and Crosshair commits acts of Order 66, and everyone is like, why are you doing that, buddy? They go back to Kamino, and Crosshair pretty much gets his chip amplified, and he stays behind while everyone else leaves. While they're on Kamino, though, they meet a little girl named Omega, who is also a clone, completely unaltered. So the Bad Batch minus Crosshair, but plus Omega, are now traveling the galaxy, just trying to avoid the Empire because they're now on the run. While they're out in the wilderness, they end up meeting, running back into Cutlo Cain and his family, and he helps them to disappear. From there, Hunter decides, hey, he wants to pawn Omega off onto the Laquains. I can still never say their name properly. And Cut's like, okay, sure. But then Omega's like, no. And Omega stays with the Bad Batch. Cut and his family get away. We don't see them again the rest of the season. We're probably not going to see them again, but maybe we'll. Who knows?
No, you
they'll
say
be
those.
fine.
No, he's my favorite.
And then the Bad Batch gets away further. And then they eventually make their way to Ord Mantell, and they meet this Trandoshan named Sid, who used to be a Jedi informant, and she owns a bar, and they just end up doing jobs for her. And so they spend the entire season running jobs for Sid, and they go on adventures along the way. At one point, Rex tracks them down, and Rex informs them about the inhibitor chips in their heads. And just like, well, Tech already knew, obviously, about the inhibitor chips and just didn't tell anyone about it. But then Rex helps
Keep
them
in
to
mind,
remove them back on
no one
Braca.
mentions fives.
Well, no one does mention fives. Oh, God, I'm salty about that still. They go to Braca to get the chips removed because that's the only place that they know where there's like reliable machinery to do it, because that's how Ahsoka took Rex's chip out at the end of season 7 of the Clone Wars. While they're on Braca, somehow Crosshair is tipped off that they're there, and then they have like a little like altercation while they're there. But also altercation, Cad Bane shows up and kidnaps Omega, nearly kills Hunter. Omega thinks Hunter is dead, but he's not, and then Omega is just taken. We have this little like Fennec Shand also shows up during this time, by the way. This little adventure, when they're back on Seleucami, not on Seleucami, afterwards. Anyway, Fennec Shand showed up at one point in time. She's also trying to like track Omega down. And long story short, no one ended up getting Omega. Omega returned back with the rest of the Bad Batch. They're all good. Crosshair never really like regrouped with anyone. He has his own like elite squad of troopers with the Empire, and they're all a bunch of pricks. And I think one of them is probably like informing like Grand Admiral Rampart, who's like
Great guy.
awful.
Great villain.
He's just so vanilla
Memorable
currently. He's doing his thing, and he hates clones, and that's all that's going on. There was a little arc on Ryloth in which they saw Hera Syndulla and her family, both Cham and Eleni, and we've never actually seen Eleni so far, so that was really cool. We met Captain Hauser there, the Baja Blast boy, who was really great, and oh my god, he defected as well, like with like his entire like group of boys. And Crosshair is there, and he's like, okay, well, you guys are gonna get like court-martialed. And so they like take him in. Crosshair lets the Bad Batch escape because he doesn't miss. I swear by it, but that's that.
He admits to it.
They go on like they go on more adventures along the way, and then long story short, they have to end up on like a Darrow for an extraction to rescue Gregor, Clone Commando Gregor, because Rex is like, I need a favor, I got this guy, and it's Gregor.
Love Darrow.
They rescue Gregor but lose Hunter in the process. Hunter falls off the side of a mountain and survives. But then he's taken in, and then it's Crosshair and Hunter, and they're back on Kamino, and Crosshair and Hunter have this like standoff, like, oh, you weren't loyal to me and you left me behind, and Hunter's like, pretty much the entire time. And then the entire batch goes back to Kamino, even though they know it's a trap, but they have to go anyway. And also Hunter promised to Omega, hey, you're never going to have to like go back to Kamino, but they did, so that way they could save him. Anyway, the Kamino gets evacuated. That's not a word. Kamino gets evacuated, and then the Empire starts just raining hellfire on Kamino. The batch is still inside. They pretty much left Crosshair behind. Omega saves Crosshair because she's still his brother, and then Crosshair saves Omega because, you know, he's her brother. And yeah, and then the Bad Batch is all there watching Kamino sink into the ocean, and then they give Crosshair the option to come with them, and he's like, no. And he just stays, and they leave him behind.
Good.
And that's it. That was the Bad Batch season 1.
All right.
And we see Nala Se go to Mount Tantus.
Yes.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Was that was a big thing, Mount Tantus.
In a little bonus scene.
Tanwi dies, by the way.
Yep. Good riddance.
Yep.
Not good riddance. Tanwi.
Actually, no.
She's
Tanwi.
my favorite Kamino.
No. Who was the other one?
Lama Su.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister.
Good riddance. Nala.
Lama Su's the Prime Minister. Then there was Nala Se, and then there was,
Nala Se was okay.
Nala Se was okay.
The other
this show gave a little bit more characterization to Nala Se that we all didn't want, because we all didn't really like want anything to do with Nala Se after the whole like
Didn't
5
Cad Bane
arc.
blow Nala Se away? Or
no, that was Tanwi.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Cad Bane blew away Tanwi. She's laying there dead.
Right. I get all their names mixed up.
I
Nala
believe...
Se still alive.
Yeah, she's on Mount Tantus.
Yes, Nala Se is still alive, but I believe that Lama Su is also dead because
I think so. I think that's the implication.
Oh, that's kind of like behind closed doors.
Yeah,
Rampart was
literally.
just like, all right, well, we're evacuating everyone.
He's dead.
Oh, Orin Frita was in this season, by the way.
Yeah, didn't
Got
die
shot.
though. He got shot. My boy's too fat to die.
My favorite part of that recap was watching Matt's reaction, like, "Oh, that happened. Oh yeah," and
The
he's like,
rapid
"Oh yeah,
fire.
this was a really good show."
It
I feel like
was.
Matt just kind
No,
of
I love Bad Batch. Are you kidding?
the we were just talking before the show also, like, you know, we have Mando coming up, we have Bad Batch. But like going from Andor to Bad Batch to Mando, it's kind of like I wrote this down in my notes as like a cheesy line. Like it's kind of like the changing of the seasons. And like in New England, we actually have seasons. It's like, oh, you know, the winter's coming around, like it's cold, but hey, there's some fun stuff to do. The snow can look cool. We don't have to shovel it. But like each different Star Wars show, it's cool to have one like Andor. It's so serious, and we haven't seen something
Just
like
like
that.
the fall, everything's so bleak and everything's dying. And
Andor's the
serious.
fall.
Andor's the fall.
But the
If you're
Bad
talking
Batch is
about
a
changing
summer
seasons,
show.
it
But
is
the
a-
Bad
it-
Batch is
I
a
feel like
summer
it's a
show
summer
because
show.
The Bad Batch
Especially
is the
'cause
summer
they're-
show because
They're on a beach shooting
it's
crabs.
fun. It's fun. It reminds you of your like your childhood, like doing fun stuff.
The poster they gave us at Celebration was
I
also
love
like
that poster.
just incredible, and
It's so, like,
also
adventure-y.
extreme summer vibes.
Yep.
I love it. It literally
Just-
says like
just
the
throw a
adventure
beach ball in
continues,
there.
and it's like,
Yeah.
But the Bad Batch, not just the Bad Batch, but Star Wars animation. I'd argue that it's crazy for me to say this, but I'd argue it's maybe the best format for Star Wars. Like
Wow.
when you think about it, because like Clone War, all of us, we'd say Rebels is one of maybe our favorite Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Clone Wars is damn good, and a lot of people say that's their favorite thing. Bad Batch, just pretty much a continuation of Clone Wars. We don't have much of it. It's just one season, but like Visions was so fun. Like animation, you can do so much with it. It's cool to see the different looks.
Get away with a lot of higher cellular concepts with animation that you can't get away with in live action.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Live action is the best. Like we just had Andor and it was awesome. And it was live action and it was on
Mando,
location for most of it.
You know,
So
I'll
it's like
still say that Mando is my favorite. I can't wait for Mando. Love Mando.
your favorite show.
Yeah,
all the shows?
look, I love Andor. Andor was awesome. And I think out of all the shows, it's the best, but I like Mando. It's that classic meme of like, this is brilliant.
But
I like this.
It is that. Even though, like I said, you know, more Andor would not be a problem for me at all. I want more Andor.
So out of all that season 1 recap, what were each year, not necessarily one favorite moment, but what were some of your favorite moments?
I'm gonna say I hate saying it.
I'm probably gonna agree. And you don't have to hate saying it.
My favorite arc of that show was the Hera arc. Was the Ryloth arc.
Why do you have to hate saying that?
Because it doesn't feature the Bad Batch.
The second episode does.
I know it's funny that you say that because like
save the day.
You asked for like a moment, and I was literally gonna say Tech drifting the ship on Ryloth. Like that's like that.
The Bad Batch is
that
definitely
arc.
heavily in the second half of
Yeah,
that arc.
yeah, you're right. But
And
I just love
seeing Hera and Omega together and like flying
Which
around in
was
the
really
ship,
cool.
seeing
I mean,
Hera
that was cool.
anyways and Chopper.
This is my room.
And Cham Syndulla, the first time I watched Rebels, I'm like, oh, this guy's an asshole because he kind of is. But like, he's such a good character.
Yeah,
he's
Isn't
like
he in Clone Wars too? I think he's in Clone Wars.
Yeah, he is. Yep. And then I've been
He's an asshole
reading
in that too.
I've been reading Lords of the Sith.
Oh, you have?
Which it's just a random book I picked up the other day. Been getting back into it, but it features Cham, so it's like it's really cool.
Yeah, because that's on Ryloth, and that's why people were so pissed off that they killed Orn Frita, except they didn't, because you could see him moving on the stretcher, but because he's in that book, and so that was a big deal. But yeah, you know, I like Ryloth. Resistance Reborn, one of my favorite books, takes place on Ryloth a lot.
It's true.
Got a lot of French accents.
Should have Cham in it.
Yep.
Yeah, what was? I guess he's done for by the time that comes around. That's sad. That's really sad. Where's Hera? Hera just doesn't go home. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Other favorite part.
That's pretty clear in Rebels.
Episode 3, Cut Locaine.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's the name of the episode.
Yep, Cut Locaine. Just that's it. I loved that episode for the chain codes part. You know, for
that is
just
huge.
transferring over.
See, that's my favorite part of season 1 altogether. Is just seeing the with the old, in with the new. Empire's coming in and taking over.
It happened so quickly as well. I think that's the coolest part, is because we're always like, oh, how gradual is this change of like the Republic to the Empire? And it's like literally they had this like their marketing team was working overtime, and then they immediately were like, all right, roll out right now, and they had it ready to go. And like obviously things are going to take time, but like they had like the plans ready to go immediately, and seeing the chain codes in action was just very cool to add that extra layer of the Empire knows exactly how to find all their people.
And that's the thing. It's like when Bad Batch first came out, we were talking about like, oh man, this is cool because this is like step one in the fascist playbook. Control people's movements by marking everybody down and making sure you track them, and you can't let them go here and there, and all that stuff.
And then we see it in Andor.
And then Andor came out, and everybody was talking about, wow, Star Wars talking about the fascist playbook and being really overt about it. And it's like, but Bad Batch did it first. Bad Batch showed the beginnings of a fascist regime taking hold, taking control, limiting people's movements, and tracking people and all that. That was. It should get more credit for that. I think.
It goes back to. There's a lot of things that'll happen like in animation or in a video game first, and then they'll like be translated to screen like that. Like that was like one of the really big ones. And then the other, just total side note, other really big one was a Jedi underwater on Nur in Jedi Fallen Order fighting Vader, and then it happens in Kenobi
showing up at Fortress Inquisitorius and all that.
The scene in Kenobi was like really cool, but when I was watching it, I was a little underwhelmed because I had already seen it in Fallen Order. So I was like,
one more.
Oh,
there's one more. Rebels.
Okay.
Twilight of the Apprentice.
Yeah.
Ahsoka slices Anakin's helmet open.
Yeah.
We get the same thing in Kenobi. And again, everybody talks about how awesome that scene is in Kenobi, and people talk about how emotional it was. And I agree, but I actually think Rebels did it better. And the entire time it was happening, I was going, this is just Rebels. We already saw this.
But I also like this.
It's the same thing.
It's all of that again.
Not to mention,
you gotta give the animation more credit.
We had the Kiner brothers doing the music.
Kiner brothers, shout out.
Rebels.
Yep.
And they're doing it for Bad Batch, Clone Wars, everything. I mean, we gotta get the Kiners on this show one day.
We definitely do.
We do.
I have so many questions for them. I showed AJ my notes like a while back when I did my Rebels rewatch. I took a bunch of music notes for some reason. Like I kept hearing music, and I was like, write that down. I have like a whole list of like, what are your musical inspirations for this, that, and the other thing. So we definitely have to get them on so that I can bore people with that.
We'll look into it.
All right.
So,
Kiner brothers, if you're listening, and I know you are,
would you like to come on the show?
hop on.
Please. So we got the Ryloth arc, we got Cutlo Cain, the transformation of the galaxy. It's really cool and interesting to see like what the general public thinks, because we know what happens with the Jedi. We know the true story because we see it. But it's interesting in Bad Batch, we see like the parades going down the streets, and we see that in Andor too, actually, in the flashback, right? It's very similar. We see the parades going on the streets and everyone's celebrating the Empire, and they were the Republic and into the Empire, whatever. But like these people are rooting for like murderers. The Jedi were good. They don't know it. They thought the Jedi were traitors.
They don't know.
It's crazy.
Like guys, I'm referencing a lot of memes. That guy sitting in the corner with the drink at the party is like,
oh
they don't know the Jedi were the good guy. But it's funny you brought that up, because Andor again shows the clones, specifically the clones, being the bad guys, quote unquote, for the Empire. And that's another thing we saw in Bad Batch, and another thing that I'd like to add to the list of things that show did well is we see the loss of humanity. The clones just completely lose their personhood.
It's so funny because like
even like their painted armor, all gone. White armor. And we see that in Andor when they follow the orders and they they're marching and they stop, flip, shoot.
That's
like, oh my god.
That's the thing that like always got me, like in the Bad Batch, is the only other painted armor we see is the Coruscant Guard, which just happened to be on Kamino after Order 66. We don't see anyone else with painted armor aside from the Bad Batch, and so it really boggles my mind to like think about
Ballast.
like, oh yeah, Hauser.
Damn it!
Why do you still think he's Ballast?
Stupid merch.
For those who aren't in the know, there was a 4-pack of vintage collection. It was the Bad Batch vintage collection, but there was no Bad Batch members in it. It was Hauser, Rex, Elite Squad Trooper, and what was the last one? And then I think just like
Gray. Commander Gray.
Yeah, Commander Gray. But yeah, he has like the green accents.
But he's green.
But
he's red in the comics. He's every color but gray. Anyway,
Hauser wasn't Hauser on the packaging. He was Ballast.
So
and it's like,
that was probably like an early name that they had Ballast, and they like sent it off to Hasbro, and Hasbro was like, okay, Ballast it is. And then they were like, you know what, Hauser sounds better.
Baja Ballast.
And when they were like, we already printed everything, so it's Baja Ballast.
Huge fan of Hauser though.
That like never happens either, so that's funny.
I have such a problem. Like I'm in my mind, I'm always like Hauser Ballast, and I'm like trying to guess which one was the one they used at the end, and I always guess wrong. Always. Hauser.
Well,
I'll remember that next
time. Do we think? We'll get to that. I have a whole like list of characters. Do we think they'll be back? But
rapid fire, go through them.
Yeah,
Number
do it
one.
right now.
Right now, okay.
Yeah, and we'll give thumbs up or thumbs down.
Fennec Shand, yes.
You have to say it out loud because it's also a podcast.
Oh yeah, right. Yes.
Fennec Shen.
Yes. Yes, please.
Cad Bane.
Yes.
Boba Fett.
Yes.
Yes.
Saw Gerrera.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Roland Duran.
Yeah.
I hope so. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I already know the answer to this technically, but Martez sisters.
Yes.
Yes.
I think they were in the trailer in the background.
They were not, but
they were.
They were?
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Wanda Sykes?
Hauser.
I hope so, but I don't think
he's a
we
one
will.
and done.
That's crazy, right? He's just an example. Like,
he's gonna be like, he's a huge character. He only appears in like 3 episodes.
How about I'll do a few more. Tarkin.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like a one-off
because
he'll show up.
Rampart is really lame, and he has to step it up, or we need Tarkin to come back in.
They already have the character model. Might as well.
They show Palpatine.
Sure, he's in the trailer.
I would assume that
around.
Tarkin has reported directly to Palpatine.
Yeah,
so.
I really do think we should start getting into Tarkin Initiative stuff.
Yeah,
Death Star is part of the Tarkin Initiative. There were a bunch of things that were part of the Tarkin Initiative that I think they should do.
What if we see Galen Erso?
No, that'd be cool.
There's
I
no
doubt
reason
it.
to see him,
That
but
would be cool.
maybe. Hey, he lives on Coruscant, right?
He meets the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch just meet everybody at one point.
What if we see Mon Mothma?
Hey, Galen Erso. That was my
That'd be something.
impression.
I highly doubt
Mon
it.
Mothma? Yeah, I do.
Well, we're gonna see Bale.
We see Bale.
Bale was in the trailer.
Hey.
Oh, you know what? We can't have both, apparently. So it's either Bale or Mon. So we'll get Bale.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So that was my list.
All right.
No Cal. People have been talking about that. I see that all the time. I'm like, you guys are crazy.
They already went to Braca and had every opportunity.
Yeah.
They're not gonna see him.
We're not gonna see.
Trying to think of others.
For 5 years, Cal Kestis is just chilling on Braca.
Yeah. Leave the boy alone. He doesn't want to be part of this. AZ.
Yes.
Of course we're gonna see AZ. He's part of the Bad Batch.
I forgot that in my recap
was
at the
out
very
cold last we saw him.
Yeah, but they're gonna fix him up. Come on, you just toss him in some rice and he'll be fine.
Sure, he got waterlogged.
He's just waterlogged.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys can think of any, Bolo and Ketch.
Yes, they're regulars at Sid's bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
I forgot who they were.
They were in Clone Wars with Ahsoka.
The Ithorian and the I don't know the species. The Ponda Baba.
Aqualish.
Yeah,
Aqualish. The Ithorian and Aqualish that are just chilling in Sid's
playing
bar.
cards. Were they playing cards on Gonki, or was that someone else?
They were. I thought they were.
I think that they were. Or Wrecker and Omega were playing like dominoes on Gonki at one point.
That's what it was. That's what I'm thinking of.
Dominoes.
We'll see Gonki.
Table.
I can't wait for
Of course
Gonki.
we're gonna see Gonki. We have to see Gonki.
Gonki
That's
got
the reason I'm watching season 2.
Oh yeah, true. Very true.
I'm coming back for Gonki.
The year of Gonki.
Yeah.
So
it's the year of Gonk.
Things that we know
for
things we know from the trailer for season 2.
Crabs.
They're still hanging out at Sid's.
Yep.
We see Sid, so they're probably still doing work with her.
A little bit of time has passed. We don't know exactly, but I think it's about a year, 2 years at most.
Yeah, I guess
I feel like they said 4 months.
Omega looks like she grew up, like quite a bit.
She didn't grow up that much.
I feel like
way taller.
The showmakers said how long it's been. But anyways,
I think it's about a year.
We'll say a year. Martez sisters, I think, were in the trailer, but maybe not.
I don't think they were. I don't remember seeing them.
We'll look at the film later.
Okay.
Gunji.
Yep.
Big part of the trailer.
Yeah.
From the Matt's favorite Clone Wars arc.
And they'll definitely and they'll be on Kashyyyk as well.
That's the thing, yeah. That's
Kashyyyk
something I wanted to talk about later is it seems like they're adapting the Kashyyyk arc from the Clone Wars that never got made into Bad Batch. And they sort of kind of like people have been speculating that they're going to take some of the unused Clone Wars arcs, and we've been speculating that since season 1, and kind of adapting them to the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So the reason I was so enthusiastically saying yes to Boba Fett is, can we please get that?
That's the number one people want. Yeah.
I know it's everything. Everybody keeps talking about it. I know I'm like a broken record because I always talk about it too. Can we get it?
I mean, I think that they definitely will, because Daniel Logan not so casually just kind of has posted, looking forward to season 2. I mean, come on. Why else would he
And
be posting about that?
you cannot possibly miss the opportunity for Alpha and Omega to meet. You can't.
Exactly.
You
They have
can't.
to at least once.
You can't mess that up.
And then if they meet in their childhood, then in future Book of Boba Fett stuff, they can have Omega. If
No,
we get
that's a
live
pipe
action
dream, but
Omega, I am
Oh,
going
yeah.
to scream.
Imagine
Anyway,
how much more powerful Boba Fett, with his crazy, angry, stabby face, stabbing Cad Bane in the chest is in Book of Boba Fett. Imagine how much more powerful that is if we got to see the original beef begin.
the
Yeah.
realist beef.
The
Cat
real
Bane and
beef.
Boba. I can't wait to see this realist beef.
I know I'm setting myself up for failure because if they don't have it, I cannot be disappointed if they don't feature it, because that's literally just me plucking stuff out of thin air and being like, well, if they don't include this, I'm gonna be mad.
Well, I'm pretty
But
damn
they
sure
have to. They
Boba
have
is
to at
gonna
some
be
point.
in the show
At
at some
least
It'd be
point.
wild if
Boba
he wasn't.
should be in the show.
because it's a
like-
loose thread that was in
The-
Clone Wars that hasn't really been touched upon
Because
in this.
yeah,
so.
there's all of that. The Bad Batch has a beef with Cad Bane for almost killing Hunter.
True. But
And
we already had the standoff. That's why I'm always worried they're gonna redo. And also, what am I saying? I'm wrong. They can't feature it because Cad Bane already has the metal plate. In his head.
Yeah.
So take it all back. Sorry, guys. Sorry to get.
Maybe
hopes
they'll
up.
have a
Hey,
rematch.
I got
maybe
my
there's
hopes
gonna be
up.
something else. You never know.
Oh well, maybe there'll be a flashback.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. For sure. Why not?
Cad Bane just retelling the tale.
Yeah.
It was
Or
a
Boba Fett
cloudy night.
retelling the tale. The sea was angry that day.
Other things that we see in the trailer that we know are coming. Coruscant.
Yep.
I think we
Come
see.
on.
I don't know what you're getting at. Palpatine, which we touched
Palpatine.
upon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Count Dooku's house.
Yep.
Even
Yeah.
Dooku's house.
What?
Which that's my bold prediction later on that we're gonna get to maybe.
Is Dooku's house can't keep secrets?
Yes.
Wow.
What's the thing that you want me to say?
Big crabs. Big
Oh, big crab.
crabs.
We've
Big
seen that whole
crabs on the
scene.
beach.
Yeah.
Shining.
You can't.
You like the big
That's-
crabs?
Of course, I love crabs. Crabs are cool as hell. Big crabs are even cooler. And we're gonna be going nuts with big crabs. That's what I'm here for.
I like the
guys.
look of that beach. I wonder where that
I
is.
like
It
the
looks-
look of that beach. That planet looks nice.
It does. I wonder what
Those
they're doing.
Nice.
Look nice.
They're doing something that they went over 5 times, as Echo says in the clip. I haven't watched that clip nonstop.
times.
No, I haven't. Just
And
5
we've
times.
seen that scene 5 times now.
We have at least, because they showed it at the panel.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. Anything else I'm missing that was juicy in the trailer? Either of the trailers?
Cody.
Battle droids?
Cody.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah. Okay,
And you're
Cody.
saying battle droids over Commander Cody?
Was there
Excuse
battle
me?
Commander
droids?
Cody was the
Or am I
bigger
getting
deal.
that confused?
I
with-
don't know what you're getting.
Jedi
Getting that
Survivor.
from Survivor. I mean, she's there
Okay.
in Survivor. I thought they were in the.
There's probably going to be battle droids because they showed up at one point during
Season
this.
1 they
But
had 'em,
let's scroll that thought back.
Cody.
Commander Cody repainted his armor, covered all the orange spots with gray.
And it's ironic because the Bad Batch were gray and now they're orange.
There you go.
Right?
Not a coincidence.
Then they're traitors
poetry,
like
it
the
rhymes.
Jedi.
They're
Um,
mocking Cody, being like, "Come on, you were orange." Maybe that's it. I've wondered this whole time why they paint themselves orange. Maybe they're-
That's why they paint themselves orange.
Cody loves the color orange, and he misses that, and now he's bored with boring old gray with the fascists.
But yeah, that was another really big trailer reveal. Was Cody showing up and he's talking to Crosshair, and they're at some sort of memorial. It's still unclear what that memorial is.
Yeah.
If it's for other clones or if it's
They could
who knows.
making a memorial for clowns. That doesn't seem
The
very
Empire wouldn't do
Empire-like.
that.
That doesn't even seem very
No.
Republic-like.
No, I mean I can't wait to see Cody. He's definitely gonna get a 2 or 3 episode arc
I
on
hope
his
so.
own.
Yeah.
And I have a really bad feeling that he's gonna die. I don't want to say it, but I have a really bad feeling that's what's gonna happen because if you
Well, we don't
scroll
see him in
back to
Rebels. so.
we don't see him in Rebels, and if you go back to there was leaks about Kenobi that they wanted to put Cody in Kenobi, but they said no.
That
So
might be why.
um,
I always
I don't-
liked the
I don't think he
idea
does.
of Cody hunting Obi-Wan down as kind of like his white whale. I always thought that was a pretty cool idea.
now
but I
that
don't
would be
think they're going with
interesting if
it.
they show that in this. I don't think that they would.
I don't think
I think
they're going
Cody
with
will
that
rebel.
idea.
from the few clips that they showed of Cody so far in the trailers, he seems pretty confused.
That's
He's
true.
like,
He does.
"What the hell
seem
are we doing?"
confused.
Yeah, he's like, Crosshair, could you not? And Crosshair is just like,
He's
Like,
like, I
Crosshair
must kill
stinks.
more civilians.
Lord.
All right,
Christ.
let's get to
Must
Crosshair because
commit
you
more
Let's
guys
get to Crosshair.
crimes.
you guys have some opinions on Crosshair.
I
think he
do.
stinks.
I have one opinion
I
on
don't want him to
Crosshair.
come back.
He's gonna come back.
Dead to me.
He's gonna come back.
He's gonna
Oh
come
my-
back, but
wow.
he's dead to me
Why
What
is
is-
he dead to you?
wow.
because he's an asshole.
Of course he's an asshole. Anakin was an asshole.
Here's the thing.
He gets to have a redemption arc.
But Crosshair was always an asshole. Anakin wasn't always an asshole.
Yes.
Crosshair,
But they loved his brothers loved him.
yeah,
and
he
his
loved his
sister.
brothers. He was a nice.
So-
he was a nice guy, even if he was a little surly.
Nice.
He was
Questionable.
surly, but he was
He was never nice.
he was a good guy until he,
until he executed the order, but he didn't like want to because like that was all
No.
programming. I think that like
Nope, it wasn't
no.
the chip.
It's
He
like
said
chip.
It wasn't the chip.
He got his chip
It's
taken
him.
out, and I'm very adamant on the fact that people always said, "No, he's lying. He didn't get his chip out. He got his chip out, guys, very clearly."
That was the big twist.
That's
He
the
was
big
always
thing.
just
That
an
was the
ass.
big reveal. Was that he was like, "I want to kill civilians without being controlled."
Newsflash. I've been hearing it
Newsflash.
all along.
I've been an asshole this whole time.
here's the thing with Crosshair. I think that he's the kind of villain that like or just character in general that like the more you sit and think about it, the more you realize other things that like they could do or the way that it could go. And the more you come around being like, yeah, okay, like that's what his business is. And but you want to root for him eventually because like you see like how pretty much the rest of his family like misses him. So I do hope that my only prediction for Crosshair is by the end of season 2 they're gonna yoink him back somehow.
I hope.
I
so.
don't know how.
What do
but
they
I know
miss
they're
about
gonna-
him though? He was never, other
He's
than
just
having
their
good
brother.
snipes, he never provided anything good to the table.
was- look.
Everyone was their brother.
He was sitting there. He's chewing on toothpicks, hanging out, probably giving him mirror advice. I don't know. It's things.
Mirror advice?
Yeah, you know,
Splitting
you
mirrors.
throw the mirror at the wall over here, and you shoot it. I honestly think, like, at the beginning, he was just surly, but still good. And then it was only when the Empire started taking power that he started to, like, oh, I like order, I like the Empire, and then started falling down that rabbit hole of getting worse and worse and worse. I mean,
He's very like
I
when,
think he-
Star Wars
when
tradition.
Tarkin's in the Citadel arc, he's very much like that. Just like leave him behind. We gotta say the state of the mission. That kind of asshole.
I
So,
think that over the course of this season, Crosshair is going to get burned by the Empire
on the other side
somehow.
of his face.
Because yeah, exactly. Because they're gonna be phasing out the clones more, and like it's very clear that Rampart hates the clones and despises Crosshair. So
yeah.
it's gonna be personal with whatever it is. Even though it will be like we're phasing out the clones, it's also gonna be like really personal. And so I think that that's how it's gonna like go down. Is Crosshair's gonna get burned by the Empire, and he's not gonna know what to do.
He already has. Like, I'm surprised when season
He
1 ended.
has.
I remember us being here like, oh, is he gonna go back? They left him there for dead. Why would he want to go back? So
It's
I
very
bet he'll still be thinking about that.
it's
Yeah.
very Callous in Rebels.
Yeah,
Well, this
exactly.
could
Callous
be-
has the big experience like with Zeb on like the frosty moon. Zeb goes back to his family, and
Just another
Callous
number.
eventually gets picked up by the Empire, and then no one cares in the Empire. So Crosshair's gonna like see, and he's
Place
gonna
with
use
his
that
moon
as
rock.
motivation just to like prove everybody wrong, but he's gonna get burned farther. So
Yeah, or he could become a Ronin. Somebody who's just kind of doesn't take sides. Kind of, I'm going to say this. You guys are going to roll your eyes. A Zuko arc, if you will. Somebody who is just caught
gonna
between
roll
the
our
pole,
eyes.
between the light and the dark, and doesn't really know which one to choose. So he kind of just goes on a journey of soul searching, kind of roaming the galaxy, doing odd jobs, figuring
See,
things
I'd
out
like
for
that.
himself.
That's what the Bad Batch is doing.
yeah,
That
like,
is what the
Crosshair's
Bad
gonna go
Batch is
do it
doing,
by
and
himself.
and he should do it by himself. He should have a Bad Batch arc all on his own.
He'd be a good bounty hunter.
He would be. Be
would be.
great.
He'd be like a dead shot in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
go.
basically is. So yeah, what do we think? We're kind of talking about what we think will happen in season 2, but are there any other big things non-Crosshair that you think will happen?
Big, bold prediction. You ready for this? Biggest, boldest prediction imaginable. And
Juicy and bold.
I just came up with this off the top of my head. I'm wrong, but I'm going to make the prediction anyway. Because
I hope you don't steal mine.
Big
Okay.
prediction, right? We follow a bunch of clones. Cody, they go to Ferrix and they shoot
Someone throws a rock.
And then some little kid comes out of the blue with a pipe, beats the crap out of all of them. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see that in Bad Batch.
All right, I like
Okay,
that.
it's bold. I'll give you that.
I'm trying to get the boldest prediction out there.
It's a good one.
It's bold.
What do we think happens with the Bad Batch? Like, they're working for Sid, but they're gonna have to get out of that. And like, what we know, Rex calls them for another mission. Rex is kind of hunting down old clone buddies. It seems,
guess
because
so.
he found Gregor, right? That was that mission for them. So what are we gonna see? Wolf? We're probably gonna see Wolf.
Yeah, we should probably see Wolf.
Where did Gregor go when they saved him? Did he go back?
They didn't show it. Wrecker dropped Gregor off at Sid's, and then they all ran back and went back to then they went to Camino. So we don't really know what that handoff was.
Gregor's busting tables and washing dishes.
Whatever it was, Sid was not happy at first, and then she realized Gregor has restaurant experience, and she's like, okay, you know what? This can work out.
This is good. I like this. And then Meeber Gascon shows up again.
Yeah.
Has another mission.
The D Squad part 2. It's just Gonky and Easy.
Oh my god.
The D Batch.
All right. Remember how I said earlier, like, I'm making predictions, and if they don't have that, I'm plucking things out of thin air, but if they don't have that in the show, I'm going to be mad. That's it.
The
right
D
there.
Batch.
If we don't get the D Batch,
or the bad D.
I'm out. No.
So D Batch.
That took a turn.
Bad D.
D Bradley Baker?
D Bradley Baker.
Oh, yes.
The
bad D himself.
But eventually they're gonna break off from doing Sid's jobs. There's this Wanda Sykes character, which I don't know who she is.
Random. Okay.
Yeah,
I kind of just feel like she's another Sid, like another.
She feels like another Sid. It's weird, right?
What do you call that? They're like, what do you call Sid?
She's like your quest master.
Right, but
like the GM.
She's not quite like a crime lord, but she's like a.
No, she just has like
agent.
a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Job lord.
That's it. Job lot.
She's another job lord.
What do we think the mission that Rex? We're gonna see Rex probably a couple times.
I think we'll see Rex a few times because I think that it's eventually gonna show us what's going on with the broader clone rebellion with whoever Rex can scrounge up and save. And we know that there's one shot as well in one of the trailers that shows younger clones, like the younger guys. And they're like working in some sort of like refinery or something. And so I think that that's going to come into play. They're going to like liberate something with that. I think that's those people wearing like the purple ponchos and masks. I can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah.
There are like 2 purple poncho situations in the trailers recently. There's this one random person wearing a mask, and then there's one of Omega creeping on Palpatine. When that happens, I don't know. She was sent in as a spy because she's the only one who doesn't look like a clone.
That's true.
Yeah, Palpatine's always trying to. He's always trying to bring people to his side. He's always trying to be like, "Oh, Ezra, oh, Luke, somebody join me, please.
I'm too weak.
I'm too weak. Please don't kill me." Omega's just like over him with like a bow,
with the crossbow, or not the crossbow.
Omega wouldn't hesitate. She would just do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Omega's smart.
What are they doing on Coruscant though? Maybe it's just Omega, but
Cody calls Rex and is like, "I want out." And then Rex calls the Bad Batch to get him out.
Or they get something to do with Bail, whatever it is.
It probably has something to do with.
They're bailing out Bail.
They're bailing out Bail.
No, because Bail is like a senator the entire time. So
Palpatine's hovering over Bail, and Bail's like, "I'm too weak. Please don't kill me." And then Omega shows up, and he's like, "I need him." I think that's what's
good.
Gonna happen.
I like that.
Okay.
Do we see Masameda?
Unfortunately, probably.
We got robbed of him.
Yeah,
and people wanted to see Palpatine apparently, but we got robbed of him in Andor.
We got robbed of him in every show. I want to see Masameda in every show. If we don't see him in Mando season 3, pissed. We don't see him
in Jedi Survivor.
He could be in everything. He's everywhere. He's Masameda, man. Come on.
We have people everywhere.
That's damn right.
Okay, let's get to Count Dooku's house. So in the trailer,
Count Dooku's house.
We see Count Dooku's house / office / what planet is that even on?
That's isn't it?
I don't think it's on Sereno. I don't think it ever was. It might be somewhere else. But it's like
Raxus?
I don't know. It might be.
They've already been to Raxus. Wait, did you say Raxus or Anaxis?
Raxus.
They went to Raxus.
Anaxis is blown to bits.
last season. That was a really
I know.
fun arc,
But I'm
actually.
saying they could always go back.
True.
Yeah, that was a fun arc. That was a good arc.
Beautiful arc.
I
Nice
might go back
foliage.
to that. I have that concept art like as like a rotating backdrop on my computer. I look at it all the time. Anyway,
I always thought it was
Dooku's
his
house
castle on
is.
Sereno.
How many times do we see it? We see it in the
Dooku's
Savaggio
office?
Press arc
And then a few times with
in Clone Wars.
We see it when Palpatine
with
gives
Saj.
Dooku the call and is like, I want you to kill Saj.
Right.
Yeah, he's just chilling at his like desk.
The big
I think
green
that's
window.
Dooku's pajamas, like that infamous look that is in
That's
that
what they're
room.
there for.
Yeah.
They're there to steal Dooku's pajamas.
Asajj tries to kill him in his
the
sleep,
old man
right?
Dooku's boudoir.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Asajj shows up to kill him as well.
Yeah, while he's sleeping.
And he's got his little monogrammed PJs. He's getting out of bed. He's like,
My bold prediction is what could be, why would they be at Count Dooku's house? What information is there? What story takes place later that involves something with Count Dooku?
Kix?
And how does it come back to the chips?
Bold prediction. You've outbolded me, my friend.
Fives and Kix. So
I
think they'll just see something and be like, what the heck's this? Like
it's a literal it's an ice cube with
they won't
just like sitting
they won't
inside.
see
wait.
but they'll see something on like his computer. We're like, oh, something with the chips and this guy and
the Kix initiative.
Yeah.
Because the way that Kix's story is during that interim is we know he gets shipped off. The ship is lost in hyperspace and then it lands on Pomona and no one finds it until sequel trilogy time, right? And so like we don't know when that ship actually went.
I'm assuming
any of that. So we don't know when it was lost. True.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars.
My God. If we get some sort of like mention of that, that would be intense. Like, oh my God.
I think we'd be at Dooku's house before something with the chips. Like, I feel like there's the Rex and the Bad Batch and the clones that are saved, quote unquote. I feel like they're trying to find something out with the chips to save more clones.
What if
that's why they'd be there? I don't know.
What if Rex gives them the tip to go investigate Dooku's house? Because like, Rex knows that Kix was like sniffing around. Oh my God, the like subset of people who like are obsessed with Kix are gonna like lose their mind if something gets like name dropped.
I think we're getting a little too serious here.
Okay,
this is gonna happen.
Bring it down.
Temper your expectations. It's not gonna happen. Relax.
It's not crazy though.
No, it's not. That's good. I like it.
Is.
Not really.
That's crazy. That's never gonna happen.
But why else would they be at Dooku's house?
I will eat a hat if that happens.
The prediction
live on air.
Okay, Matt. The prediction is not they are going to see Kix and free him. The prediction is they're going to stumble upon the information.
I think there'll be a little mentioning of Kix.
Yeah.
Maybe there could be an offhand reference. I think that's still too much.
It would be great.
I
agree.
What
a mentioning of fives?
I agree.
It would be. I think it would be just
that's all
enough.
in the same vein.
Why would they need fives though? I mean, everybody already knows about the chips.
But they don't know what happened to fives. I don't know.
He died.
Okay.
Wasn't Rex there?
He was there.
Well, Rex knows.
Well,
who else knows?
Everybody knows about the chips by now.
They didn't mention it in season 1. Damn it. Does Echo know? Echo needs to know.
Everybody knows about the chips. They got him taken out.
Everybody knows about the chips, but I don't think everybody knows about the situation with fives.
They don't know about the chips.
Yeah.
They know.
What would they need to know about the situation with fives?
Echo needs to know.
Echo needs closure.
Fine. Echo needs closure. I'll admit it. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
All right, Matt. What do you think they're doing at Count Dooku's house?
Some unrelated thing that
Stealing
we don't know yet.
Pajamas.
They're getting his pajamas. Yeah. No, I honestly have no idea.
It's got to be something.
I don't think it's something tied to anything else. I think it's just probably like another one of those like random side quests that they have to go on that they just end up.
No way. Why would they go to Dooku's house?
I don't know. He's a rich guy. He's a rich old guy with a lot of rich old guy stuff. They probably want some rich old guy things.
Well, the shot in which we see it, they're getting like a shot at. So
he probably. I mean,
by battle droids.
I don't know if it's on Sereno.
Thousands.
Jamie said it's not.
I don't remember where Dooku's office is. If someone could tell us where Dooku's office is, it'd be much appreciated.
I mean, in Dooku Jedi Lost, his office is on Sereno in his castle. But I don't know if that's the same one Well, no, because it's during the scenes with Asajj Ventress, like before, you know.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
Sereno.
It is okay.
Yep.
So
the Clone Wars episode is called Mission to Sereno.
So they probably have to go to Sereno for something. We're probably going to learn who the Count is of Sereno now because
He's the
Dooku's
count,
dead.
he's the count, he's the count. Sorry. That's like the second time this week I've gotten that song stuck in my head for some reason.
I don't even
Anyway,
know what that
series of
what's-
unfortunate events,
Nope,
anyone?
we don't need.
Anyone?
Oh yeah,
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
love series of unfortunate events. Why didn't I know that?
This
Anyway,
bring up a good reason actually. One thing I wanted to do for anyone who wants to play along at home, make a Bad Batch bingo card and tag us in it. And I don't know, we'll figure out something
and play
to do.
bingo.
We'll play bingo with us.
We'll make one too.
We'll all make our own bingo
A Bad
cards.
Batch bingo card,
Yeah,
Bad
of
Batch
things that
bingo
get
card.
mentioned,
or
you
a
know.
live stream bingo card.
We'll clarify. We'll figure that out. I just kind of threw it out there, but you know, things like I don't know, Wrecker hits his head, Echo sniffs Mantel mix, like
Very good.
that kind of thing.
And the middle, the
Boba
free
Fett
space will
shows up.
be Omega says tick
Yeah, there you
or
go.
Rika.
Yeah,
So
This is good.
bold prediction with kicks, and then Matt shot it down. Ooh, my mic.
I'm
jumped.
sorry. I shouldn't have shot it down. I liked where we were going with it until everybody started being like, "Yeah." And I'm
I think
like,
it's
"Wait a
very
minute."
possible. All right, you know what?
All right.
I'll add more flames to the fire.
Oh God.
Friends that have seen the show mentioned there's an episode where they thought of us.
what does that mean?
I don't know.
Maybe
But we're
I
always
show
talking
up.
about kicks.
Maybe
Is
there's
it
a guy with
Kix?
glasses and a mustache who shows up and they're like, "No."
Maybe.
Does like young Sidon Athano show up? Like what happens?
No, that's actually. I mean, that
Is
could
that crazy talk?
It's not that crazy.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We went from normal Bad Batch discussion to the Crimson Corsair himself is going to show up in the Bad Batch. Guys, we need to
He'll
slow
show
down.
up in something one day.
You never know.
He will show up in something one day.
I have the model for him.
We'll be
have
there
that
for
feeling.
it.
I have that
So,
feeling too.
Any
Does
other
Hunter wear
predictions?
his green outfit again? If that happens, oh man, more than 2 episodes, I will be very excited, ladies and
Nah,
gentlemen.
give him a new outfit.
Everybody
him
needs
a
at
new
least
undercover
one
outfit.
secondary outfit, please. That is my bold prediction, is that the main group will all get a secondary outfit. It's not going to happen, but that's my bold prediction. They're all going to get a secondary outfit.
I just want Echo to get just another outfit, just one.
Yep. Well, Echo got a secondary outfit in season 1. He got the droid disguise. The only one who didn't last season
That was great.
was
was good.
Omega didn't. She got the addition of like the extra belt, but Tech never got an outfit change last season. So I want everybody to get one extra outfit. That's all I ask for.
All right.
Tech doesn't want an outfit.
Yeah, it's too impractical.
I would love
Yeah.
an episode where like they have to go undercover at some like ball. That happens in
Yes!
Resistance Reborn, actually.
It
But
would be so good.
imagine that.
I just
Yeah.
want one episode where Hunter's
They're all
not
in
wearing the
tuxes.
headband, just
I
to
like
see if he has like a red like streak across his forehead.
That's just like ingrained.
It's just like the hair is just like matted, and everyone's like, ooh.
Or there's another tattoo. That's
Imagine
just,
that.
like, all across his
It's
forehead.
just a tattooed headband.
I still
That would be so perfect. He takes the headband off and it's just a headband
Another
underneath.
one.
just another headband.
Oh yes.
So we're missing a big elephant in the room that we haven't talked about. So
We already talked about the crabs, dude.
The
Mount
big like
Tantus-
Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh,
Oh yeah, the big Horizon Zero Dawn thing.
yeah, the big like giraffe like thing.
Well, that's just
The
a
giant
one-off.
I
farting
thought you were
giraffe.
Beastie
actually-
blowing up.
I thought you were
but
going literal with elephant in the room, and I was like, "What's that big like creature?"
There's two more things I wanted to address. One from the
Mention Mount
trailer
Tantus.
and one Mount Tantus. So, what do we think's gonna happen at Mount Tantus? And like, what is going on there? Clearly, it's something with
Cloners.
cloning because they have Nala
Yeah.
say now.
Well, I think it's a Palpatine
Do you
thing.
think it's just the obvious?
Yeah, I think it's Palpatine trying to figure out how to clone someone who's force sensitive. I think that we might see Grogu.
Ooh, no, that's a bold prediction. My
That's
God,
very
we're going all
bold.
out. We're
'Cause
going
we-
all
I
out.
don't think
We know
I
he
don't
was.
think that will happen. But like,
I don't think Filoni and Favreau are going to let anybody touch these characters.
We
I
know
don't
he
think-
was
he kinda-
rescued.
it is a
we
Filoni
don't-
offshoot of.
We don't know what happened from the
project.
time Order 66 happened to when Mando finds him still. But somebody had to take care of him. / we know that the Empire is looking for him when Mando finds him originally. So, who knows? That's a bold prediction.
That's a very bold prediction.
But yeah,
You know,
I think that they're doing some secret Sith cloning business, but they don't really know what they're doing yet on Mount Tantus because the Kaminoans are the best cloners in the galaxy.
Is
That's
that the obvious like thing to assume?
Yes, it's the thing that everybody has assumed so far.
The scientists also have like the cloning like patches on their sleeves and whatnot. I can't wait to
Dr.
get full
Pershing
reference
had.
photos
Not that
like
we-
that with that headgear. Like that's
I have a-
sorry.
I have a couple things on Mount Tantus. So, not that we ever talk about Legends here, but it is a Legends, like a lot of other places, it is a Legends location.
Yep.
And it's in the Thrawn trilogy.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong about anything, as I'm not as in tune with Legends as you are, Matt. But there's the crazy like old guy that the force
You're talking
sensitive
about
guy.
Joris Sabayoff?
Yeah, who like everyone thinks is gonna come. Not everyone, but Legends people think is gonna come back.
Boris Karloff? What?
Joris. Okay, so it's Joris, Jorrus, and then it's C apostrophe Boath. Joris
Crazy
Sabaoth,
old
or
force
Kaboath.
wielder. So
Okay.
Sabayoth. Sorry, it's Cbaoth. Sabayoth is how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Okay.
he's in the Thrawn trilogy from the
And
90s.
He has
So
two U's in his name because he's a crazy Jedi clone. He's a clone of a Jedi
Oh,
that went crazy.
This is the Luke situation.
It is literally a
geez.
Luke
Okay.
situation. There was an original Joris with only one U in his name,
They
and
just
then there's
added
this
U.
Joris, which has two U's because he's a clone.
is
Okay.
Luke made on Mount Tantus? In Mount Tantus?
I don't know.
Anyways,
So
do we
yeah,
think-
I think that they're doing some cloning business on Mount Tantus, and as they've been doing, they're gonna pluck little bits from Legends that they really like and want to translate and just slide it in.
right.
All right, guys.
So
That's what they're gonna do.
Joris Sabaoth is going to show up.
Maybe.
Sabaoth.
or like someone else that like would fit that description, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh, he dies. I was gonna be like, oh, maybe it's Kiadu, but he's dead.
It could be some
It's a-
Jedi
it's a-
on Ice. Who knows?
What if it's like
Kia di Muundi.
Barris?
He's got like a bigger cone head.
Could be
That's
Barris.
what I think.
We don't know
Barris.
what happens to Barris.
We have to see Barris again
We
eventually.
do have to see Barris eventually.
Could be
And like,
Luminara
how's she-
Could be Luminara because we see her in.
because her body
Um,
is put on ice and then
yeah.
used as a trap later
We
on.
see her
So
corpse.
Ooh, or it could be old guy that we. Oh, he's one of my favorites. I'm so mad I'm forgetting his name. The guy with the cane. The cane lightsaber. And we see him in Kenobi dead.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I literally Christmas Day I made a list of every named Jedi that's ever existed. And I had him. Hold on, he's right
You
here.
should be ashamed.
I don't remember either.
Terrace Nube. There he is.
Yes, Master
Sinube.
Sinube.
So,
Yeah,
it could be a number of people.
he obviously exists with the model, so I mean, why not?
My other offshoot question with this was in the first trailer, don't we see a Zillow Beast?
Yes, there is Zillow
Yeah,
Beast stuff.
I
They
think
never
going on.
followed up on Palpatine's shit-eating grin at the end of the Zillow Beast episode.
So maybe Mount Tantus stuff has to do with that.
Maybe.
Could be cool.
Or, I
Could
mean,
be.
that would be cloning. And they're
And
like,
then-
can you
and-
clone this?
That could be like the giant farting monster thing that they show in the trailer too.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because that looked
Who
very
knows?
electrocutey. It looked weird.
Yeah,
was
it
blowing
kind of
up,
looked like
but-
some like weird like mech
it
brontosaurus.
looked weird.
Yeah.
So maybe they're cloning that in there. They're cloning Force users in there. It's a whole thing. But I hope they show a lot of Mount Tantus. I hope that wasn't just like a Night King situation from Game of
Yeah,
Thrones. Where
Night
they're like,
King
oh, here's
situation.
this. We'll see you at the end of next season where we show a little bit more.
I think they'll show a little
Maybe.
bit because if one thing that I think that was important that they showed was Nala Se looked terrified, and it's like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
no, I shouldn't like feel bad for her, but
Why
you do
would
feel
they
like a
blew up her
little.
home, killed everyone she knew, and
Yep.
that of her species, and then
Yep.
brought her there.
So
So
Yeah, but she was pretty like shady, so it's okay.
yeah,
oh yeah.
she is an evil scientist, but she does look very worried.
What? Anything else from anyone? Jamie, you might have a couple thoughts. No,
Oh, I got a lot of thoughts, but I think that we don't have enough time for that. So
we'll get to them throughout the season
Yeah.
as our live streams are coming back for each
Yeah.
episode. And then once we
I'm
get to
look-
Mando, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Oh boy,
Oh,
double
that's
dip.
we're gonna be January to April. Y'all are gonna see us every single week.
Every
Yeah.
week, multiple
Every week.
times. One thing I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the episode in which it looks like they're on Coruscant and Tech entered a race.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
what
like a
he's
race or
doing,
just
but
like a
it looked like some sort of like little
car
race.
chase. Yeah.
No, because they were all in like the
Right.
same kind of vehicle. I don't know why my camera keeps going in and out, but
Yeah,
it's
you know what? It's making
Matt-
everything more dramatic.
Matt's was doing it too. Yeah, it's
I
the
like it.
dramatic zoom.
um
Bum.
Here, before we fully part, so this is the full listing of episodes for the season. What are you guys' thoughts, really quick? So it's a 2-episode premiere: Spoils of War and then Ruins
Love
of
it.
War.
Love
The
it. Love it.
Solitary Clone,
The
Faster.
solitary clone is Kix, and that's the
Yep,
episode.
there you go.
Faster is
Faster,
the race. for sure.
Entombed. Yeah,
Entombed is
definitely.
Kix.
Is also Kix, a follow up.
Tribe.
Gunji.
The Clone Conspiracy, and then Truth and Consequences.
That's about Kix, I think.
That's the Kix arc.
That's the Kix arc. Clone Conspiracy.
The Crossing, Retrieval.
Crosshair.
Yep, Crosshair. Yep, Retrieval. That's when they get Kix.
Bail Organa.
Metamorphosis.
Zillow Beast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Outpost. They go to Batu.
They go to that planet that Kix is on.
Pabu.
I don't know what the hell
What was the name
is.
of what was the name of the planet Kix goes to?
Jamie said Pomona earlier.
Pomona.
Pomona, Pabu, close enough.
Yeah.
Tipping Point.
Can't link
The
that.
Titanic.
Kix.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then the Summit, and then Plan 99.
That's definitely a Tantus
Mount
thing.
Tantus.
So
yeah,
you
they are
might
gonna
be right on your prediction that it's just at the end of the season. They're just
Save
gonna
it.
keep throwing them in.
Tipping
Who knows?
Point.
Who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
Wow.
I'm just here
So
for
how
the
many
grabs.
how many weeks do we get 2 episodes? January 4th, February 8th, and March 29th. I like that. Rate kind of like beginning, middle, end.
Yeah.
Mid-season there.
That's cool.
Getting 2 episodes is very nice.
Yeah.
Because we were so spoiled with Andor getting like 50-minute episodes every week. Now, like, some of these Bad Batch episodes are gonna be like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So.
We're, March 29th is going to be insane. We're going to have 2 hours worth of Star Wars content that day, probably close to.
I get so overwhelmed on those days because the routine still exists for me. Where like I gotta like go to work, so we just get up early and watch the stuff, and I'm just like, what is
the first week of
is the
Andor? It was 3
routine?
episodes. I was up at like 5 a.m. watching all 3 before work. But so wait, March 29th. Okay, we'll have a Mando. When does Fallen Order? When does Jedi Survivor come out?
First or second week of March, I believe.
Yeah.
So-
we're
Feasting.
feasting.
Yeah,
No,
and then the book comes out a couple weeks before it as well.
The book comes out at the very beginning.
I'm just talking
of
the game.
March.
There's a High Republic audio play that comes out next week as well. So I'm
Really?
looking forward to
yeah.
that a lot.
The Battle of Jeddah. I can't
Yeah.
wait for the Battle of Jeddah. I'm losing my mind, but I
There's
have
a
to
lot.
finish.
I think the game is either out March 14th or March 17th.
I think it's 14th.
Yeah, games come out on Tuesdays.
So we're gonna have.
I thought
Not
I
always,
thought Fallen
but
Order
most
came out on a Friday.
I think
Could
it
be
did.
wrong though.
It's not always Tuesdays.
Part of Triple Force Friday. I don't think the game came out on Friday. I think they just did the merch drop on Friday.
I don't know.
So, anyways,
Anyway,
this was episode 83.
83.
All
Our
right.
second year was a lot slower than not a lot slower, but slower than our first year. We were cranking them out our first year, but
Well, we were
well.
figuring different stuff with the live streams and figuring
yep.
out what avenue we want to pursue. You know,
yep.
a lot of avenues.
Oh, in March we have to do our Q&A too. Oh boy.
I can see your soul leaving your
Oh.
body.
No, I'm ready
Okay.
for a Q&A. I love the Q&As.
Oh yeah, that'll be the return of the Q&A.
Yes, it will.
I think that's what we're on. So
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's it. Okay, so we'll be doing Bad Batch live streams, and they'll be available as podcasts as well when the show starts coming out. So we'll see you guys next week for the Bad Batch season 2.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see
and
you
the
next
after
week.
That, and the week after that,
And the next
and the
week.
week after
And the
that,
next week.
and the next week. And
You
the
can find
next
us
week.
everywhere on social media
Yes.
at HoloNet Marauder or at HoloNet Marauders, depending on what social media it is. Links are all links down below. If you've been watching on YouTube, we have this also in audio version. If you've been listening to it in audio, we also have it in video version on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening and on all of the avenues, because so many avenues. Thank you so much for listening to the HoloNet Marauders podcast.
And the next week, and the next week, and the next week.